Once upon a time, in a thick forest, there lived a huge grumpy bear. He was so big that other animals were afraid of him. He was also very sensitive if anything went wrong. His fur would stand on end, and he would get really mad. One day, the bear was awakened from his sleep by some loud singing. He opened his eyes to see a little bird perched on a tree branch outside his cave. The bird was singing with all its might. "Oh, what a beautiful song," thought the bear. But then the bird started singing even louder, and then the bear got angry. He came out of his cave and said, "Hey, little bird, why are you singing so loudly? Can't you see I'm trying to sleep?" The bird stopped singing and asked, "What do you mean? This is my home and I can sing as loudly as I want." The bear was furious. "You better keep quiet or I'll pull out all your feathers and make a pillow out of them." The bird laughed at this and said, "Go ahead, Big Bear, and try to catch me if you can." Then it flew away, singing happily. The bear was so angry that he started chasing the bird. It kept mocking him, saying, "Catch me if you can, big, slow bear. You'll never be able to do it." The bear ran after it for a long time, but the bird was too quick and it always managed to escape the bear's grasp. The bear was exhausted and annoyed. Then the bird suddenly landed on the bear's head and said, "I won't run away anymore. Now ask me anything and I'll grant you 3 wishes." The bear thought about this for a moment. He had been chasing this bird for hours and he was very tired, so he accepted the bird's offer. "I want to go back to my cave without anyone following me," said the bear. The bird waved its magic wand and poof, the bear was back in his cave. He was very happy to be back home, but he soon realized that he still hadn't caught the bird. He had accepted the bird's offer without thinking twice, and now the bird could ask him for anything in return. The bear thought about this for a moment. He didn't want to lose face in front of the bird. So he said, "I want to take a nice nap." The bird waved its magic wand and poof, the bear fell asleep. The bird sat down on the bear's paw and said, "You may have outsmarted me once, Big Bear, but I won't let you do it again." Then it used its sharp beak to peck the bear hard on the nose. The bear woke up with a start and shook his head. "Why did you do that?" he asked angrily. The bird said, "You promised me 3 wishes and I want you to give me the first one now." The bear thought for a moment. He had 2 options. Either he could use his bear strength and take the bird's life, or he could honor his promise. He decided to honor his promise. "Very well, little bird, you can have whatever you want." The bird thought for a moment. "I want you to take me around the forest so I can see all my friends." The bear was taken aback by this request, but he had promised and he would honor his promise. So he nodded his head and said, "All right, little bird, let's go." As they walked through the forest, the birds sang happily. The bear felt like a fool for being outsmarted by such a small bird. However, as they continued their walk, the bear noticed that the bird kept looking over his shoulder at the trees, as if he was afraid someone was following them. The bear found this strange, but he didn't question it, and kept walking. After some time, the bird suddenly flew off the bear's shoulder and landed on a tree branch. He said to the bear, "Thank you for taking me around the forest. Now it's time to give me my second wish." The bear sighed and said, "I'm not happy about this, but remember, you got me good." "So what is your second wish?" The bird thought for a moment. "Well, this is a difficult one." The bear asked, "What's difficult about it? Just tell me, and I'll grant your wish." The bird replied, "Actually, I don't want anything for myself, but I want you to release all the animals that you've captured and kept in your cave." The bear was stunned. "What? Why would I do that?" The bird said, "Because it's the right thing to do. All those animals are innocent, and they haven't done anything wrong. You've just been a mean, grumpy bear to them." The bear thought about this for a moment. The bird was right. He had been a bad bear, and he knew it. But he liked having the power and feeling strong when he kept the animals in his cave. He felt a little ashamed for doing this. The bird said, "Come on, Big Bear, don't be a coward. Release the animals and let them go free." The bear hesitated for a moment, but then he nodded his head and said, "All right, little bird, I'll do as you ask." The bear went back to his cave and opened the door. All the animals inside cheered and ran out of the cave as fast as they could. The bear felt a little sad as he watched them leave, but he knew it was the right thing to do. After this, the bear came back to the bird and said, "Now it's time for my last wish. What do you want?" The bird thought for a moment. "I want you to plant a fruit tree in front of your cave. That way you'll always have something sweet to eat." The bear was very happy with this wish. He loved eating fruit, and he couldn't wait to enjoy fresh fruit every day. So he waved his magic wand, and poof, a beautiful apple tree appeared in front of his cave. The bear was so happy. He gave the bird a big hug and thanked him for his help. The bird smiled and said, "Don't mention it, Big Bear. I'm glad we could be friends." From that day on, the bear was a changed animal. He was no longer grumpy or angry, and he was always kind and helpful to the birds and other animals in the forest. And whenever he ate an apple from his tree, he thought of the little bird who had outsmarted him and become his friend. And so our story ends with a valuable lesson. Don't underestimate small friends. They may be tiny, but they can teach us big lessons and become our best friends if we treat them with kindness and respect. The end.